Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping straight into a really exciting journey today. One where you're not just going to learn math, you're actually going to become a master navigator. We're talking about mapping the path using linear functions. And really beautifully, we're intertwining that with the foundational principles of biblical morality.
So here is our roadmap for the lesson. First up, making the path plain. Second, creating graphing tables. Number 3, mastering slope and intercept. 4, step-by-step examples. 5, your graphing homework. And finally, number 6, education and biblical morality. We are absolutely going to crush our TEKS objectives today and, more importantly, understand the true, broader purpose of this entire journey.
Section 1, Making the Path Plain, the Power of Visual Tools. You know, sometimes graphs get a bad rep as just connecting dots on a grid, but they are actually incredibly powerful visual tools. Think about it. They help us spot real-world trends, predict outcomes, and ultimately choose the absolute best path forward. Whether you're tracking your daily steps in a fitness app, comparing a couple of cell phone plans, or analyzing data, graphs make the complex stuff simple.
And to really ground this idea, listen to this beautiful piece of scripture from Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. It says, "Make it plain on tablets, so that he who reads it may run." I love how this perfectly connects to our mathematical concept of graphing. When we take raw, confusing numbers and map them out visually, when we literally make it plain, it allows us to run with that information confidently. We can see exactly where we're heading. Section 2, creating graphing tables. Your raw data. Okay, before we can draw any sort of map, we need our coordinates, right? This is where we learn how to take a standard mathematical equation and translate it into a highly structured, super easy to read table of values. Let's just dive right into our first challenge. We have the linear equation, y equals 2x plus 1. Now, at first glance, that might just look like a random jumble of letters and numbers, but it's actually a really precise set of instructions. To figure out our path, all we do is pick some different values for x, plug them right into this equation, and solve for y. That's it.
See how that simple equation beautifully translates into a set of precise coordinates? Say we choose a -2 for x. We just multiply that by 2, which gets us -4, add 1, and boom, our y becomes -3. We just repeat that process for -1, 0, 1, and 2. And suddenly we have an entire table of x and y pairings. These are your exact map coordinates, completely ready to be plotted out to show us our path.
Section 3, Mastering Slope and Intercept, your compass and starting point. Now, creating a table is fantastic, it really is, but there's actually an even faster way to map our path, using what's called the slope-intercept form. This gives us 2 absolutely vital tools for our journey.
The very first tool is the y-intercept. I want you to think of the y-intercept as the exact spot where you drop your first pin on the map to begin your journey. Mathematically speaking, it's just the value of y when x equals 0. It's the precise point where your line crosses the vertical y-axis. Because, well, you always need to know where you're starting, right?
And that brings us to our second tool, the slope. If the y-intercept is your starting pin, the slope is your set of precise driving directions, telling you exactly how to get to your next coordinate point. It tells you how steep your line is, specifically how much y goes up or down for every single step x takes to the right.
Section 4, step-by-step examples, charting the course. Obviously, the best way to master these tools is to actually put them to work. So let's look at 2 specific examples and see our new compass and starting pin in action.
Here is our first course to chart, y equals -3x plus 4. Step 1, we look for our starting pin, the y-intercept. That's the +4 sitting at the end there. So we drop our pin on the vertical y-axis at 0, 4. Step 2, we look at our slope, which is -3. Those are our driving directions. Because it's negative, it literally sends us down 3 spaces and then right 1 space. We drop our next pin right there, draw a line straight through them, and just like that, we've successfully mapped our path. Let's see how this builds with a slightly different example. Y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Step 1, find that y-intercept. It's -2, so we drop our starting pin at 0, -2. Step 2, our driving directions, the slope, well, it's a fraction this time, 1/2. This simply means we step up 1 space on the y-axis and move right 2 spaces on the x-axis. We drop our pin, draw our line, and our map is complete. Look at that. You are all becoming incredible navigators. Section 5, your graphing homework, solo navigation. You've seen me chart the course, but we all know true learning happens when you take the wheel yourself.
Take a moment to jot down these 5 tasks. You'll be creating tables, identifying slopes and y-intercepts, and graphing some brand new equations all on your own. This is your chance to test out your independent map-making skills. Just trust your starting pin, carefully follow your driving directions, and you're going to do absolutely great.
Section 6. Education and Biblical Morality. The True North. We've spent all this time today learning how to map a path on a graph. But honestly, having mapping skills only helps if you're actually heading toward a good destination. And that is the absolute core philosophy of the HeroesmartAcademy Godly Learners series.
Think about it this way. Education without morality is just being smart but continuing to make bad choices that ultimately hurt you or the people around you. I mean, what is the point of being highly educated if your life's path just leads to destruction? On the flip side, education with morality intertwines your academic learning with really solid biblical principles. It basically ensures that the sharp mind you're developing is actually used to make better, healthier life choices.
Romans chapter 8 verses 6 and 7 promises peace of mind to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual. And this truly anchors our entire lesson today. Logical thinking, like graphing linear equations, and spiritual mindedness actually work perfectly together. When you combine the critical thinking skills of math with a moral compass of faith, the destination you map out for your life brings ultimate peace of mind.
So, as we wrap up our time together on the explainer today, I really want to leave you with this final, important question. What path will you graph today? I want you to think carefully, not just about the mathematical lines you're going to draw on your homework, but the moral paths you choose to walk in your daily life. Keep learning, keep mapping, and I'll see you on the next explainer.